Is that a bird up there?
Oh, I see it. Yes, it looks as though it is. What's that in its talon?
It's dropping something. Ow! What the
Did you look
hell?
at her, Merrick?
That bird's got good aim.
Are you all right, Ferric?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just my pride is hurt.
Oh,
Okay.
that will heal easily.
What is that?
it?
What did you get?
Well, it seems to be a letter.
I swear, this is another barmaid.
How do they keep finding you?
I have never seen anyone receive so much post.
Birds of a feather, right? The bird in the sky can find a bird, bear, deer thing on the ground.
Oh,
I'm a kiln.
We know.
Of course.
We know you are, Miraz. Well, what does it say?
Okay. Let me. Okay. It says, watch. It says, look out below. Signed, Lady Sky.
That's it?
That
seems to be it. Well, I would have really liked to know the message before the letter hit me in the face.
The letter
You must have a
fell,
lot of
yes.
enemies.
Is Lady
I've
Sky
noticed
in
ladies
the
that's
sky
stupid
and
in
we're
my
below?
life.
Or
Wait,
Or is she a
was the
barmaid?
bird
That sounds like
Lady
a
Sky?
barmaid name. Like a disguised barmaid name.
Mm.
Listen, I don't
Is that
know
a mistress?
this many barmaids. A mistress.
I think it was the bird.
I would like to believe it was a bird named Lady Sky. Well,
Yes.
thank
that
you
makes
for the
sense.
letter, Lady Sky. Next time, aim for my hands and not my face, probably.
Nice.
Welcome to Power Word Fail, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast. My name is Carlos, and I am the Dungeon Master for these lovely group of heroes. Enough about me, though. Let's get to the real stars of the podcast, starting with Austin.
Ferric, singer at Pickle's grave. Now, singer at Christopher's.
Andy.
Pickles, not actually dead and not in a grave to sing at.
Ian.
Ambrose Boussant. And I told you, Zeos, I keep my promises.
Katie.
Midori Rowan. Finally free.
And last but not least, Nathan.
Zorim the Somber.
Once again, my name is Carlos, and this is our first campaign, Chosen of the Crystal Crown. This is episode 32, and let's get right into it. Last time, as Zea's monstrous goo form began to decay, the battle continued to rage. Things were looking dire, and in a moment of desperation, Ambrose finally sent out a prayer to Vespa for a miracle. Ferric made the decision to flee to fight another day, but upon flinging open the doors to the hall, 4 ivory guardsmen arrived as reinforcements, in answer to Ambrose's prayer. The tide of battle shifted, and Zeus finally fell to Adalia's moonbeam, collapsing into the burning pile of decay. There was no time to celebrate, however. Pickles lay dead upon the field, beyond the help of any healing, and as you all began to mourn, Christopher stepped forward, and reaching into some hidden depth within himself, poured life back into Pickles, at the expense of his own. And that's where we'll pick back up. As you all take in the scene, Christopher's body has slumped to the side, his eyes open, his hair ruffled, his arms, the skin cracking from the fingers all the way down his sides, revealing a somewhat crystalline sheen of beautiful blue and turquoise. And Pickles, you just feel air come into your lungs again as you sit up.
What happened?
Pickles!
Who's that? She looks over at Christopher.
It's Christopher. He brought you back.
What? What do you mean? What do you?
Pickles,
I don't.
do you
What
remember who we are?
Yeah, you're Miraz. Like, what do you mean?
I don't understand. I've never seen anything like that.
I didn't even know he was crystalborn.
I remember punching the dude's arm off, and then I remember nothing. And now you're saying that's Christopher? What do you mean he brought me back? Dingle wouldn't do that.
Pickles, you died.
No, I didn't.
You were beyond the veil.
You died.
We couldn't bring you back.
The dragons ripped you to shreds.
She just looks down at herself, which is fine now. So if they tore me to shreds, I'd be torn to. I'm very confused. My brain hurts.
Is the anatomy of Pickles different now?
Does Pickles look different?
for the most part, visually, Pickles looks the same. Her eyes have a little bit of a brown-green tinge to them. But other than that, she looks visibly fine.
Adalia's gonna kneel down next to Christopher and try to touch his face. Not if it's gonna crumble if she touches it, but just kind of tentatively try to touch it.
As you reach a hand out to the face of Christopher, the boyish look looks stern and without life. As you touch his cheek with your hands, he does not crumple, but he simply stays where he is.
Does he feel not like skin? Does he feel the same?
The skin, the part that you touch on his face feels very human, feels very flesh. The softness of living a highborn, or at least royal, or at least wealthy lifestyle coming from where he came from. But his hands, you would recognize Adalia, that same, almost not like jagged, but almost glint of the like crystal flesh that protrudes from his hands, that is cracking up his arm slowly, but almost like a window in a car that's been chipped and slowly splinters and spiders.
I'll close his eyes and then take his hands in between mine, touching the crystalline part. Did you know?
I had no idea.
I'm still not convinced that's him.
Also, Pickles looks like Pickles now, right? And not like Nora anymore?
Yes.
Yes. Ferric, have you ever seen anything like that? Pulling someone back from beyond the veil at the expense of yourself?
Ferric has backed up 3 paces and is just staring at Pickles with some sort of cocktail of joy and sorrow and confusion and anger. What did he do to you? You're not supposed to come back.
What do you mean he saved her?
No, I cast Speak with Dead. What is dead should not pass back. This is not okay. There are rules to these things. You were certifiably dead. You were torn asunder. What Christopher did, regardless of heroics, is abomination.
Well, I love my abomination, and I sit down with Pickles, and
It's not an abomination.
I'm glad you are still here.
I mean, it's not like I had a choice.
And one should always have a choice.
Christopher sacrificed himself in order to bring our friend back. Do not turn that into some terrible thing. It is not.
It was an act of love, Ferric. Could it be that wrong?
We do not know the consequences of these actions yet.
We will find them together as friends because that is what we are.
Ferric is gasping and tears are coming to their eyes as they look between Christopher and Pickles and the rest of the group. I need some air.
Do not go far.
Ferric will go over to the stained glass in the room and just sit there, separate from the group for a moment.
So I'm guessing we killed him?
I point to the pile of fleshy goo that is on the ground.
Oh god, that's gross. That's really gross.
We did, Pickles.
Which reminds me, is there any necrotic goop still in this pile?
There is tons of the necrotic fluid that is just strewn, not only from
Bottle it all
the
up.
place.
Gross.
Oh,
is-
no.
You don't have
Don't
enough
touch-
bottles in Malandor.
That was me, not Adalia. Adalia doesn't
Well,
I'm
care.
gonna bottle a few, if that's okay.
Oh, that's so gross.
Adalia is still knelt down next to Christopher and is kind of like stroking his hair back. And she's trying to hum the song that Ferric sang at Spunk's pyre. He was the last casualty, the last one Zeus will ever kill. Do you know who his family is? Does he have any left?
I think his mother is still alive. I know not where she lives.
Yeah, he talked about a mom, and then he talked about a brother, and he's got a sister. He's got family.
And a partner.
Perhaps Lucy knows. They should know he died a hero, that he ended a war.
Yes.
Varric will walk over to the sword that Zeos was swinging and look at it for a moment and then walk back over to Christopher. If anybody remembers, Christopher's mother was a piece of shit. She didn't want him.
Well, yeah, but he's got his other family. We don't know anything about his siblings.
The girl.
We should seek them out.
The girl will know them, wouldn't she?
For some reason, I feel like he said they were in Everton.
Varric is going to reach into Christopher's pockets and pull out those 3 letters that his dad wrote to him, that Varric gave back to Christopher, and is going to scour them for some clues to his family.
As you scour, opening the letters, they've been opened already, and they've been opened and read multiple times. You can see from like the crumpling and like the hand moist, like, you know, when you have kind of palmy hands and
The finger grease.
Yeah,
The
sure.
finger grease.
Maybe I'm the only person that has this problem in the whole world. Maybe, I don't know. But,
Oh, we all know, baby.
okay. All right. You scour them for clues, and most of them, they talk about what Griffin Stonehall was doing with his time at the Crystal Temple. His day-to-day duties, just some interesting things that happened, some interesting people he met, asking how his mother, his sister, and brother are. And the last one was an invitation to, come to the Temple of the Crystal Crown. And in that letter, it's not like the other letters, it's very detailed in the sense that Griffin took a good amount of time to tell Christopher how much he loved him and how sorry he was for the neglect that he shown Christopher, not because of malice, but just because of life. And you notice that that letter is the most crumpled and worn of all of them. They are in Everton. You gain from that letter, which is all that it really says in terms of what location they are at.
Everton, then, if you think that's best. Sometimes our true family is not the one we were born to.
We shall find these siblings.
Who could find his friends?
All right.
Carlos, has anyone come in to check on what happened, or are we just still chilling in the hall of ourselves?
As Farag is reading the letter, the ivory guardsmen have just been kind of off in the side, conversing with each other, picking up the goo and touching the goo at random times. They've been kind of eyeballing you, but they also think they realize that this is some moment that you're having, and not all ivory guardsmen are dicks, so they have let you have your moment. But as the doors that had been wide open all of a sudden open again, having been closed, and you see Cornelius Abernathy come with hastily put on chainmail, hastily attached armor, and he is bringing 20 or 30 armed guardsmen with him who are decked out in gold-plated armor, and he announces, "Zeos, you will die for killing my daughter." Oh, as he surveys everything, he
He was
hustles
so late.
towards you. My friends, I'm sorry.
Your efforts are appreciated. We would not have seen the Queen without you.
And you came back. That is more than most did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
He is
I
gone.
failed.
No,
I failed my daughter, and I failed my wife.
you didn't.
You brought me the killer, and that's all that matters.
You could not have known.
A good father would have known, but the beast is dead.
At last.
No thanks to most of the Ivory Guard. And he turns to the 4 guardsmen. He shouts, "Where's your commander? Is he hiding in his hole like a snake? Must I go and ditch him out and pierce his hide? The guardsman, sir, it's not, he's gone. What do you mean he's gone? Now, do you tell me the truth and you tell me proper? The guardsman looks to all of you and Commander Boussaint has gone. He's not here. He's fled.
That bastard.
When?
Well, you see, Commander Boussaint was told of what's going on here. He said not to come. Us four, we came anyway. And the healer told us that Commander left. He's gone. Left in a flash, he did.
Sounds about right. Guards, if you could escort me to the Busan Palace.
Wait, we will have to deal with that, but Lord Abernathy, what is the state of the city with the Queen dead? Is there chaos, or will someone step up to rule?
Does she have a clear line of succession?
Cornelius looks grim as he puts his hand to his head and rubs his forehead. You see that his eyes are weary and that he has dread in his heart as he knows what he's about to say. I must confess, this is grim for all of us here in the city. There was no clear line of succession, but we will have to make do with what we have. I'm sorry, this is all so strange.
Is there no protocol in place? Should a monarch die without an heir?
We have the Golden Council, who gave insight and wisdom to the Queen in cases of matters of state and diplomacy, but this has not happened in many years. Protocol states the Golden Council will take charge until a new heir or a new ruler is named or crowned.
And where are the Golden Council?
Problem is, there is a crowd of people outside this castle and they are waiting for answers, and we have to present what we have, and I do not know what to tell them.
Where is the Golden Council?
Golden Council meets in the Jeweled Court and not at the castle. They have their own official state of business that they preside in.
And who are its members?
Well, that's a funny question, because it seems to be changing every often as there is a lot of backstabbing and political gain, and it's not as though you're a member for life. You have Kelvin Morningfall, Leo Damaro, Karek Redstream, and then Rolf Mitzbird.
And were any of them present in the court today?
No, they were not.
Is that usual?
Yes, very much so. You have to understand, the Gold Council is not an official branch of government. They are the highest born, the wealthiest of Malandor.
Lord Abernathy, why are you not on the Golden Council?
It is a game I wish not to play.
Curious question. What gave Zeos line of succession? Had he just killed the queen?
Well, Malandor's history is that of conquerors and kings, and the strong leading the weak. It's not unheard of in our history for men and women to come and simply take power. It's partially the reason why the Ivory God was created. At least, that was a reason.
Then by the rules of blood and iron, I can't imagine that I am not looking at the new queen. And Ferric will look at Idalia.
Don't be ridiculous. Ferric, I am no queen.
I look at Ferric like he's absolutely mad with that statement. Like,
Lord Abernathy, is there any precedent for that sort of thing?
Not unless you have an army.
I do not.
Much gold to bribe.
I have neither. I have nothing at all but the people here in the room with me.
The precedent that Zeos set is that if you kill the monarch, you become the monarch. But I don't believe that following Zeos' precedent is necessarily the best look.
I have no wish nor ability to rule here, but would it help calm the people to hear from the people who killed Zeus? Or would it create more chaos?
I honestly cannot tell you that answer. The wisdom prevails that the people will need an heir, or at least a path to an heir. And
Could we not simply hold the castle in our keeping until the Golden Council can come and take their rightful place as interim rulers?
Well, I'm sure they will be on their way once they learn of the situation. You have to understand, the Golden Council is not a righteous group. They are.
Then why are they entrusted to choose the next ruler?
Because they got money.
Right. Now, Cornelius, I know this is
Yes.
not what you hope, but you seem a wise and prudent man, and I knew your daughter, and she was both very intelligent and compassionate. Such qualities seem that they would lend well to ruling.
Oh, I do not think I would be a good ruler, nor would I make a good king. It is not something that I desire, nor have I thought about. Money, yes. Status, yes. But to be king of Malandor is to be king of much of this country. It is not a simple thing.
Certainly not, but someone who does not aspire to greatness can wield it with more discretion. Discretion is not quite the right word, it evades me. You have the noble character.
I'm sorry, Zorim. No. I look at Cornelius, and I look back at the rest of the party. No, that is not happening. Can we move on? Cornelius is not ruling anything in here.
We are not going to solve the problem of succession. Here amidst all the rubble, is there anything we can do to ensure that the chaos does not become a riot before the Golden Council can establish control?
Ferric thinks about how sectioned off the city is. Will the riot be so bad?
How do you mean?
There are people starving. If power begets power and it just keeps growing, people are going to have the same issues. You're going to have more Zeoses on your hand, more people vying for this power.
It is not lost on me, the people, but even a god must take time to grow, and though I have a heart for those who are suffering, it takes time for change. You're not just dealing with the masses, you're dealing with the powerful, the rich, the wealthy, and though I may come from wealth myself, it is not, I do not know, my friend, if I'm being truthful. Such a time has not happened in many thousand years. But we need to take action. The gods are getting restless, the people will get restless.
What about my little trick with the clouds? Do you think that would be enough to quell any disturbance until the traditional rules of order are back in place?
I do not think so. I think the only thing we can do is tell the truth and let the rule of law prevail if it does. If it does not, then we...
To whom do you want us to tell the truth? To the people? To the council?
No. But we must let the kingdom know what has happened. And
Yes, and you don't think the Skyrite will accomplish that goal?
You can do what you must, do what you will. I am not your lord, I am not your...
I am seeking your counsel, Lord Abernathy. This is a foreign city to me, and I am not used to machinations on this scale.
Adalia, putting up Skyrite is kind of like giving everyone a little sticky note that says the queen is dead. It doesn't feel like anything.
What is a sticky note?
Then what method do you propose?
I'll show you one in Mournstead. I'll get one.
What do you propose then? I'm open to suggestion, but I do not want to stand here over Christopher's body any longer.
I mean, we just need somebody important to tell them that's gonna be official, right?
Well,
Mr. Abernathy, why can't you just go tell them?
tell them I shall. You must come with me. They need to see their heroes. We will go, we will tell, and then the powers may fight over this throne, but As far as I'm concerned, I am done with this place. If you wish to be involved, you may, but I must bury my daughter, and I must mourn my wife. That is all I wish to do. You, he points to some of his guards, take the boy and bring him to my estate for burial. Yes, sir. As they attend hut and they take Christopher's body and as politely as you can begin to haul him to the Abernathy estate. As he looks to the ivory guards, he says, I would return to the HQ. I would inform Matthias that his time as commander has come. Right, you all, sir, they say, in somewhat unison, and they begin to depart as well. And as he turns around, he says to you all, Cornelius, something of a soft smile. Let us play the hands that fate has given us. And he begins to walk towards the castle doors. What do you do?
You know, I think he would have questioned a goblin suddenly being here, but maybe not with everything that's happening.
I think we have all seen stranger things today.
I think so.
Well, shall we join him?
Address the crowd like this? I'm not even myself.
Are we able to end this, whatever effect we're under, like at will?
Oh yeah, for sure. You could definitely just in your mind portray the image that you are, and you can return. You definitely remember her saying that you can't go back. So,
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for, what did you say, Ferric? For us to be written in the books?
I mean, he knows all of you as you. Sorry to interrupt, but like, do you think changing now and walking out there and him...
He knows we came in disguise. We told him.
Okay.
Yes, Ambrose revealed his identity to, Cornelius, yes, even though you're still in a different form.
Well, goodbye, Jonathan Bastille. And I will fade away the Giga Chad persona back to my stylish attire.
R.I.P. Jonathan Bastille.
You guys ready?
Yes.
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 At the end of this, though, there's something I have to discuss with all of you. And as I'm talking, my skin is kind of fading from violet back into kind of a peachish, like Caucasian human color.
Wow, you're such a pretty tiefling.
Well, thank you, Pickles, but it is good to have my old voice back.
As your horns are falling off and disappearing, mine are just starting to grow.
Nice.
As I drop down to all fours and start stretching my long, lanky body out. And Ferric starts to leave and then looks at the spot where Christopher's body was, and then looks over at the pool of what Zeos was, and is going to walk over and tear a banner off of the wall that has the city crest on it, is going to walk over and wrap up Zeos' sword and hold on to it.
As you pick up the sword, it feels of noble make and weight. You wrap it and put it in your backpack, your whatever carrying device you have.
Very careful not to actually touch it myself.
Noted. Spunkles will crawl up Pickles' shoulders and nuzzle Pickles, and he'll say, Mother, you're back.
Yeah, I guess I am.
I'm so glad you're back.
I mean, I guess I am too. Maybe.
I'm sure it'd be an adjustment for you, this new thing you have going on.
It's a lot.
He will bury his head into your cheek one time and he'll say, Well, I'm here for you.
Yes, you are. Thank you, Spunkles. She says slightly uncomfortably.
By the way, now that Cornelius is gone, I know that you guys all think Cornelius is a great guy, and he did help us out right now, especially when he wanted to get revenge for his daughter and his wife, but he's still not a good person, and he's very selfish. So question his motives sometimes, alright?
Noted, Ambrose. Noted, Jonathan. No, Ambrose. You are noted, Ambrose.
Thanks, because he's still a snake. And I grab my bag and I pick everything up.
Nice to see you back in your original form.
I'm glad to. I'm gonna miss it.
It was fun while it lasted.
That being Nora was weird.
That was weird for all of us, Pickles.
As you walk towards the entrance to the castle that goes to the courtyard which you visited, the guards amassed. Cornelius at the door. He looks at you one more time and says, "Are you ready?"
As will ever be.
All right then. He'll open these massive gate doors, and the crowd and the sun hit your face, almost blinding you somewhat from the difference between the throne room and here. The courtyard is full with people of all kinds, different species, different classes, the rich and the poor, the young and the old, the human and the non. All of Mournstead seems to be in this courtyard, and they are amassed, they are fidgeting, they are nervous, and as you exit the castle, they all stop talking, they stare right at the door. Cornelius is there as well, standing in front, his arms outstretched, and he begins to give a speech. People of Mournstead, my name is Cornelius Abernathy of the Mournstead Abernathys. You know me. Some of you know me, some of you do not. Some of you are my friends, some of you wish I was dead. But I am here as a witness and to give testament to the deeds that have happened. And then he'll begin to just kind of go over the main story plots of Zeos, Northwatch, and essentially the atrocities that have happened. I have grave news. Our great queen is dead. You just hear the crowd gasp and whispers, some cheers, even claps. I tell you with a heart of sorrow that it is a dire strait for our city and our kingdom, but we will persevere, and I'm sure as we search for a new heir that the Golden Council will do that part to ensure that we survive as we have always survived. And I'd also like to introduce the people who slew the traitor Zeos. And he'll turn to all of you, whoever's closest. He'll take your hand, Adalia, and just raise it up. I present to you the heroes of Mournstead. And the crowd will stop for a second, and then they'll cheers will erupt from all parts of this courtyard. The sound is deafening, clapping and hollering. Old men going, yeah! You hear big.
That was a very weird choice there.
Oh, okay.
Just one dude laughing way too loud.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, yeah!
I do it. I saw them coming in and they were just kick ass. I do it.
I'm picturing the two elderly Muppets.
There's just some castle precipice going, they never saved me. Oh, it's just about out. As the cheers continue, Cornelius will lean into all of you and he'll just say, just follow my lead, smile and wave, and be hero-like, please, as he will take you and lead you through the crowd. The crowd will disperse at their cheers, the songs of joy. Hooray, the saviors of Mournstead! Hooray, the saviors of Mournstead! Killer Zeos! Killer the traitor! Hooray! Hooray! You hear this loud, and some people even touch your cloak, they'll touch your arm, they'll just see a glimpse of you, and you'll make your way through the courtyard. Out of the palace and the castle gates which you entered, you make your way down the familiar paths to the Abernathy estate, and as you enter the beautiful garden that is Cornelius' home, the crowd has followed you, and Cornelius will raise his hands. Friends, I appreciate the love you have for our saviors, but we must disperse. There will be celebrations, no doubt. The city and all of Malindor will celebrate the victory of our heroes, but for now, let them rest, for they are injured and weary from their battle. In somewhat of a disappointment, after a time, the crowd will disperse, some hanging around, but eventually they disperse as a soft moment of silence hits for the first time what seems to be forever. As some of you, that's the most wildest experience you've had in your life. Cornelius Abernathy will turn to you all and he'll say, there it is. You can choose to mess with politics. You can stay around. You'll always have a home with me. You are now free to do as you wish.
I have no interest in meddling in the high politics of the kingdom. I wanted only to ensure that there was some sort of stability in place and to make sure someone will look after Northwatch. That is as far as my interest goes.
Northwatch will be taken care of. For that you have my word. So much as it is a stranger brought together by cruel fate, I will see to it that a good commander is put in place there. But I would advise you, if you were my friends, which maybe you are in some strange way, I would leave Mournstead, I would leave this kingdom, and I would head somewhere else.
Why?
For absence of power breeds in new power, and the shadows unveil those waiting in the dark. But those are just my thoughts. They may not come true. The Gold Council might extract the long-awaited chance to seize power.
Are you saying we should leave so that we don't have to bear witness to the next tyrant?
No, I'm saying unless you wish to be a pawn for whoever wants to rule this place, the heir chosen by the saviors amongst themselves, I would say you need to leave, unless that is your wish. But that is a problem for another day. Might I ask you something?
Yes, of course.
I wish to bury your friend, and I wish to bury, or at least hold funeral to my Evangeline. Would you at least stay, seeing as you were her friends?
Of course.
Certainly.
And I pull out Evangeline's ashes and I give it to Cornelius.
He'll take that.
I thank you for tending to our recently fallen friend as well.
He will be buried with very high honors, unless you think it'd be wise to send him to his family, wherever. I believe the Stone Hall estate was in Everton. I do believe.
Do you know any wizards or mages who might be able to preserve him?
I will grab a magic user to preserve the body as well as can be. We shall bury him here if no one else disagrees.
Felix going to look over to everybody else. I would still like to perform rites over the body. I may go and do so with your blessing.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I think you'd like that.
Yes. He was very fond of you.
I think he would like knowing that he is buried near Evangeline as well.
Do you wish to do that now? Or we can have arrangements set at the funeral for you to do so, my good friend.
It's time.
Give us a few hours. Rest. I do not know where he... Wait a minute. Something is wrong. My memory seems to be blank. Who is my butler? Who is my head servant?
Roger?
Roger?
Cornelius?
Roger. Roger? He has not been my servant for many years. Dead many years ago.
No. We met him only today.
It seems as though it's a faint memory, but I do not recall. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I cannot. Strange indeed. What was the last thing he said? Do you remember?
That the man that we thought was Roger said?
Yes.
I believe he told us to tread lightly. Something about you having a hard day? Was that right?
Either that or Cornelius will see you now, something along those lines. Some formality.
I think there's some foul play here. but I do not know how to address it. Or
Carlos, could I do like a history check or something to see if
Yeah.
Miraz can remember what I can't?
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead and I just make a history check. Sure.
That's an 11.
With an 11, what you would find, you would try to recall in your mind, you remember that, he just said the absolute most stereotypical servant phrases, right?
Yeah. Okay.
He gave no impression of any kind of cryptic talk, but as you keep on racing that through your mind, you would almost think that it's rehearsed. You would almost think that it's too cliche, it's too normal, as if someone was practicing.
Are we inside the estate right now?
You are still technically in the garden right now.
So we're still outside.
Yes.
Cornelius, who is your butler?
My butler? Well, currently right now, my butler is Lucien Stormfellow. Good man, but he is not at the estate right now. He left about a day or so ago. A favor I needed from him from town south.
Cornelius, who were you meeting before you met us?
An odd fella named Zanzibar. He said Evangeline gave him a note of debt that I had to repay, and I was not happy, but Evangeline did have that right.
I don't know if we ever mentioned this, but it might make you happy to know we still have the horse that eventually bought with that deed. It's a fond way for us to remember her.
Yeah, you can have it.
Oh,
I have no need for any horse bought from that
Trust me,
man.
you're gonna like that one. You'll
Lord
like that a lot.
Abernathy,
It's
Yes.
how do you remember meeting us today? Do you remember us simply walking into your study, unannounced?
Oh, I just remember Lucien calling you in, and I remember him leading us out, and
What brought this to mind, Lord Abernathy?
I don't follow.
What made you ask us what we remember of your servant?
Do you ever recall information that you feel like it was important information to know, but at
Every
times
day.
was fair enough? But it just came to me like I was removed from some sort of spell.
I draw my crossbow.
You remember Lucien showing us in, but you told us just now that he has been gone from the estate for at least a day.
I'm sorry, my memory is something is wrong.
Okay.
Okay, just from his mannerisms and his facial expressions, it is like someone who is like sleepwalking almost, and they've just kind of woken up. Like some sort of enchantment has ended, and it just looks as though he's very confused because it feels like there's memories in his head that, like, he just looks like he's remembering things and you're telling him that it's not, and he's trying to remember things that he remembers. He looks like, what is the frick is going on himself?
But, so just to clarify, he just all of a sudden, something snapped and he was like, something's wrong with my servant? There was no triggering thing?
There wasn't necessarily a triggering thing, no.
Okay.
I will allow you to make an Arcana check right now if you wish, to study the situation.
Yeah, I certainly would like to.
I will try.
Can I do that as well? Oh, wait, never mind. I'm not proficient in it.
I don't know magic.
I would say someone can roll it with advantage.
17 is what I rolled, but I can...
First roll.
With the advantage, I got a 22.
Nice.
Okay. You look at what's happening, and Varric, especially you can just recognize, just as you study his movements, as you study his facial expressions, there was some magical enchantment that was cast upon Cornelius Abernathy. And it seems as though, from what you can see and what you know of magic, that his mind has been altered, or his memories have been altered, or that he was made to believe something was happening when it wasn't. And you can deduce from what he said and what you have seen that Roger was placed in his mind over Lucien. And even, in fact, his memories have been altered apart from that. So you can see that he's been placed on enchantment to believe that Roger was there alive when he clearly was not.
But he remembers Lucian, I thought.
He remembers Lucian, yes.
And
Not
Zeo
Roger.
remember Roger.
You're saying Roger existed, but he thought Roger was Lucian.
Correct.
Okay.
So the whole time it was
Oh.
Roger, but he thought at some point Roger changed into Lucian.
Yes.
Okay.
Does anybody know remove curse or something like that?
No.
I've read of it.
Should we go look through the house?
Yeah.
Is your wife a Crystalborn?
Yes, we've already established that she was.
Yes, she was.
Is there anyone in the house that we should know of?
What do you mean?
Like butlers, anyone else?
No one of worth. I mean, there's many servants, handmaids, that thing, but there's no one that I would suspect of any kind of deception or trickery or whatever you think is happening.
We need to find Roger.
Yeah, let's look for Roger Lucian. Let's look and see if anything's out of place. Cornelius, check your valuables.
I'm gonna take 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic as a ritual, and then I'm gonna walk through the house.
Looking for nonsense.
Were we able to get a short rest before anything? Like, after the fight?
Sure. I would say that between your time standing between the pageantry that happened, you have rested your mind and body, so you may take a short rest if you wish.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
So roll those hit dice.
Carlos, would I assume I'm at 1?
You are at 1, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Adalia's back up to full.
So is Miraz, but he's down to 1 hit die. Just taxing.
Okay.
I am pretty... I'm not as low on spell slots as I thought it was, actually. Okay.
Well, let's go on a Roger hunt.
Go ahead and everyone make an investigation check for me.
2026.
Nat 26 from Ambrose. Fuck
6
go.
from Adalia, because she just killed her boogeyman, so she's not super on top of things with the Roger hunt. But she does have Detect Magic up as she walks around.
That's okay. You deserve to relax now.
Ferric rolled a 14. They're probably sniffing around, but can't. Between all the like perfumes and cleaners and everything, they can't. It's hard for them to smell.
Pickles rolled a 3. She is very confused, having just come back from the dead.
Yeah, 9 for Miraz.
As you all search the house, your detect magic is up. You're having a hard time finding anything of note. There are a few magic items you sense coming from Cornelius's room. And if you ask that of Cornelius, he would simply say that that's just his personal magical trinkets. And he might even show you that what they look like. But with the natural 20, 26. Ambrose, you would find that even though he did take you to Lucian's quarters and nothing of value was there, 26, you go past a hallway on the second floor as you have looked, and you notice that the wall is different than the set of walls. So it looks very similar to what like the painting, like the wallpaper is on the rest of the walls, but with that natural 20, immediately you just see that, wow, this is actually a little bit off. Something is off with this section of the wall.
You guys see that? We're with this wall. And I move whatever's in the way and I start peeling it back.
You need a hand with that. I've got thieves' tools.
I got it too.
Yeah, try to find a hidden seam.
Okay.
I've got a crowbar, I think.
As you peel off the wallpaper, there is a door, a metal door that has no hinge in terms of like a knob. It's very much something of a secret door that is here. Cornelius will look at that and say, I do not remember having placed a secret door, but I did buy this home from another, so this could be something that they did not disclose that sale, which I am very upset about.
Ferric stands up straight cracks their knuckles,
What's that magic, Varric?
walks right up, and knocks on the door, casting
yeah.
knock.
Hell yeah. God, the symmetry. It's beautiful.
As you open the door, a room opens up to you. A very shank, very small room. The light is very minimum, as there is a candle that glows, a few of them actually, somewhat on a table, spread out in a shrine of some sort. You see a bed, you see a dresser, normal things for a room that you would expect someone to sleep here. The magic that comes from this room is now piercing Nadalia. It was hidden before, but now it is intense. A wave of necrotic magic just flows over you. Unnatural, one would say.
Adalia stumbles back. Something is very wrong in there. It reeks of necrotic magic. Who is this person?
Hello? Anyone in there? I take a step in.
Ambrose down.
I'll follow on Ambrose's heels.
Come in.
Mariah said I want to go in.
It's so good to have guests. I've been here for so long. Waiting.
Pickles, you don't have to come in if you don't want to. I have to keep Ambrose safe, though.
No, we're not going in. And I push everyone back. Fuck that. And I look at Cornelius, call the Ivory Guard, tell them that we have something horrific here. We need backup. And I shut the door. Right?
No. Well, if there is some creature or some evil entity in my house, I will not stand for it.
Cornelius, you shut the fuck up. Call the Ivory Guard.
You, sir, you may act like authority, but this is my house, and under my house, you will do as I say. Do you understand? Now, I have been kind to you, but this is my home. And because you are Evangeline's friend, I will give you a home for your life, but do not mistake my courtesy as kindness.
I holster my crossbow and I walk up to Cornelius. Look at me. I know what you are. And you may helped us for a second, but you ain't worth shit. You never were. Hold your tongue, or I will pull it out. Sit down. I know what this is. You don't.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh boy.
No, buddy.
I'm behind him. I'm gonna be like, yeah. And I'm gonna give bardic inspiration. I'm gonna like loom behind Ambrose, like, yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm a giant monster.
Giant monster.
Did I click on that? 13 was that? A D8?
Yes, D8.
Ooh.
I'll
Okay,
let you know.
17.
I was about to say this is like it's gonna be pretty high. Like it's gonna be pretty high. As you say those words, you ring out. He moves in towards your face. You may remove my tongue, but I will remove your head from your shoulders.
This went from very friendly to very not friendly very fast, Cornelius. You don't get to order us around. We are not your servants.
No, you are not, but you are guests in my home, and I can have you removed just as fast as...
Oh, you don't need to remove us. We'll leave on our own accord if you're going to treat us this way. Let's go, everyone.
Excuse me, there's some kind of lady in the closet.
It's Cornelius' problem, not ours. Let's go.
I feel like it's gonna be our problem if we don't deal with it.
It's definitely our problem.
I'm sorry.
He'll just stick his hands up. You may leave that door closed as long as possible. I will open it once you are gone, or the Ivory Guard will remove it. But I think it's quite clear that the shithead, or whatever you think I am, is so evident in your mind, you do not need to stay here for any longer than is necessary. We will have our funeral, then you may see yourself out. And he'll just walk away.
I take, I'm gonna sleight of hand and steal Evangeline's ashes.
Okay.
Sorry, fuck this dude. 15.
Add a d6.
Thanks, King. Why, but the 16.
So, just to be clear, he's saying you're going to have a funeral for Evangeline, and you're just going to leave? Are y'all leaving before that happens, or...?
Oh, I thought he was just like, get out my house and walk away. Maybe I misunderstood the scenario.
No, he said that we will have a funeral, but then after that, he thinks you should leave after the funeral.
Oh, my bad. Hold back on that. I'm not trying to steal the ashes in that situation.
I thought we were just going to have the funeral without him.
I'm a little confused by... I thought the whole thing was that we wanted to shut the door and let the Ivory Guard come before we messed with it. And now
And then he agreed with that idea.
Yeah.
Agreed or disagreed?
Yeah, he got real mad and then ended up coming up with it himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get. Let me
Essentially,
revert
he was
back.
just
all
like, yeah, I'm gonna wait until the Ivory Guard gets here.
Okay.
Fuck you
Right.
guys.
I
And we're like, yeah, that's
misunderstood
kinda what we
that
said.
it was a
Yeah.
confusing scenario. I got it now.
So he's on my page now. Okay, let's see how that is.
Except now he's mad.
He thinks that you're on his page. It was his page all along.
Yeah.
Exactly a
Yeah.
Cornelius move.
Yeah.
Classic Cornelius.
Classic.
Okay, so now Ambrose and Cornelius are mad at each other,
Always
but
was.
we shut the creepy door on the creepy lady, and we're gonna have a funeral. Yes?
Restart.
I'm essentially waiting for the Ivory Guard. I don't think we should have a funeral when we know like there's a BBEG in the basement.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait for
It's
like, the
not
Ivory
a
Guard to show
basement.
up.
It's a second floor secret room.
Secret room,
FYI.
Okay,
The,
my bad.
the proverbial
In the secret room.
basement.
Yeah.
What is a secret room but not a basement in our hearts and minds?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. That was poetry.
All right, so I say we just wait here for the guard, and he's gonna go get funeral stuff started, and we deal with the anger afterwards.
That magic felt like drowning. I don't want to stand right here.
Why can't things be normal? I would like to ask that question to all of us. Why can't we just have a normal day?
I thought we were gonna have a party or something after killing Zeos.
Maybe after this we could go to the beach and make cookies.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds nice. I've never had cookies. Adalia's gonna go out into the hall and just like sink down against the wall and kind of try to process.
Is there any etchings or writing on this door at all?
Make a investigation check.
Okay, I'll do that again.
There are definitely some
16?
notches in it, but the 16, you can definitely see that there is carvings. Look to be of words.
Anything draconic?
Anything draconic?
Yes.
There's no draconic. No.
Other languages?
There are other languages. I would say I'll give it to you. The 16 looks to be some sort of primal language. Looks to be some sort of elemental language. You know what I'm saying here?
Get Spunkles. Spunkles, can you read this?
He will scurry up to the door and will look at it, and he'll kind of like tap his little paws together, indicating that he needs you to tap the rock.
Yeah.
Speakerphone.
Tap it 3 times.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Is it on?
Yep.
Yes,
We can hear
Buckles,
you.
nice to hear you.
Hello, Spunkles. Adalia calls from the hall.
Oh, we seem to be right into the frying pan, into the shitstorm. It seems as though, why can't we just have a normal day?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
This is not a good door.
We
This
get. We
is-
get.
We gathered that.
What does it say, Spunkles?
It's not so much what it says, it's as much as what it does. It seems to be some sort of room of containing magic, some sort of magic containment field, so to speak. So the magic there cannot be detected if you do not open the door, and nothing can leave the room either, magical or otherwise. In the sense of something is bound to this room, and it can't leave, unless it wants to leave. But that's just a thought I had.
It can't leave unless it wants to?
Well, I don't really know. Just guessing, you know? Give it the good
I
old...
checked the door, but it's locked one more time.
The door is not locked. Or it's open now.
There's no lock or anything? There's nothing?
There
You
is no
just-
lock.
It's just a door that's like swung shut.
So, is this one of those things where, like, now that we open the door, we're just not in a good place, and it should have just stayed shut, or
No.
like, does reclosing it fix it?
From my calculations, it looks as though there's some sort of word or some sort of spell or some sort of name. A phrase must be uttered in order to seal the door. But what that is, I don't know.
Does it say on the door?
If it said on the door, I would tell you.
Adalia comes back into the room,
This
looking
day
very
cannot get
tired.
any worse. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do
Spunkles,
this.
dear, are you saying that whatever's behind the door can just walk out at any time then? Right
No,
now?
it cannot. That's the thing, it cannot walk out. I'm saying
Okay.
it's stuck in there.
Oh,
Even if the
good.
door's
So
open?
we didn't ruin the thing. Okay.
No,
Okay,
the door is
all
closed.
right.
It's just not locked.
Oh well, that's good. That's some good news.
It's great.
I feel as though this is not our
frankly-
problem anymore. We should probably just go.
We should probably just go.
Can we
We'll just burn
put
the house
a nice
down.
bookcase in front of it and
I'm
Maybe
sure
Let's be
just
real.
paint,
Cornelius
make
is
it
going to open the
look like
door.
part of the wall.
That's the real problem.
Well, that's his problem, not ours.
It's gonna, what's the word like? Probably possess him or something.
That's his
And
Are we
problem.
going to find the
Cornelius,
dragon
listen,
treasure
guys, I
at some
know-
point? Like, I feel like we should just continue.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Hello?
Is that the door? Is that the ivory guard?
Please,
The door.
I forgot. No.
The door. The door behind you slams. Something is trying to get out.
Mm.
And we'll figure out what that is next week on this week's episode of Power World Phil. Hey, thanks so much everyone for listening in. We love you. We appreciate you. Go ahead, check us out on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. Give us a like, give us a follow. We appreciate all the love. Go ahead and also go to the Patreon / the Homebrew, a Patreon channel where you can support the show. Little known fact, we have an Evangeline character supplement, so you can add Evangeline into your campaign. She'll live somewhere, just not in this game.
Wow.
I came out here to have a good time and I feel so attacked right now.
And if you want to support us and at least support the players, not me, those who now hate me forever, we also appreciate any support you can give. Also, give us a review, follow us, give us some stars wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate that as well. And listeners, want to let you know you're loved and important and you matter. Join us next time on Powered Fail. Goodbye.